Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Mushoku Tensei Season 3 Episode 3 reaction. So, the previous episode or the previous episodes, we had two episodes completely dedicated to Eris. What happened after she went on her journey with Ghislaine, and like how she trained and how she met like a few like strong, very strong people, made some friends, kind of, you could say. Even though she wasn't really that keen on making friends, still eventually at the end, they kind of became friends. And yeah, it was like a very good, what can I say, like a story of like a little peek into Eris's life, while Rudy has been going through like all the other things that we have been witnessing for like season 2. In season 2, all the stuff that happened, while all of that was happening, what Eris went through and how much training she did, how strong she became, all those things we saw. So yeah, it was a nice little like a thing. Now I'm assuming from this episode onwards we're going to be resuming from Rudius's point of view again. So let's see what it's about. So yeah, let us get started. Episode number 3 reaction. I'll put the timer over here. Sync it to the original video and watch it alongside my reaction. Yeah, let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, here we go. All them figurines. Oh, I just realized his hand. Right. Right. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Bruh. You describe. Right. Yup. Bruh. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. What? Yeah. What type of okay, that is crazy. Well, I guess, you know, what else can I say? They are technically married. Right. Hmm. Okay. Well, hmm, right. Yeah, she's responding at least, I guess, kind of. Fred? Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Well, here we are. So Roxy is like joining them, like as a teacher or something like. Yeah, there you go. The way everyone. Wow. Yeah. Why are you speaking English? Everyone's like looking at them. Well, you. Hmm. Hmm. Oh my god. Oh. Yep. Well. Okay. Oh, there's nobody here. Oh, these two. What were the name? I forgot. Oh. Yep. Okay. Oh, Nanaushi. Well, yeah. Huh. Well. Yeah. Ugh. Hmm. Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, well. Well, this will have to wait. Oh, yeah, you're gonna be. Oh my god. His face. Yeah, this class? Oh my god. Class is a new advisor. Wow. I'm Rudy's. Ah, there you go. Well, there you go. Cliff knows now. Oh god. Yes. He says yes. Yo. Ah. It does sound like a congratulation. Well, well, she had a lot of things to say, and rightfully so. You know. Mm. Oh god. Wait till he gets his third wife, which will probably be Aries. Hmm. Hmm. Damn. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, he said like he had something to show. I was gonna say like he could do with like a prosthetic. Is is this what he made? Yeah, nice. Mm, it's a magical prosthetic, probably. There you go. That's so cool. Like having like magic, using magic to make a prosthetic arm kind of respond. Hmm. Nice. Ah, okay. That's also Oh. Uh. Well. Well, he can use it to increase his power, so I'm sure he can use magic as well. No, there you go. Nice. Wow. Yeah. Mhm. I see. Mm. Ah. Zalif. Zanoba and Cliff. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh yeah, she's like, oh wait, you have a hand? Hmm. Hmm. What the? Oh, right. Okay. He's still praying to it. Right. Life back at home. Oh, it's the ending. Okay. The Aries themed ending. What the? Wait. Damn. What? Yo, the art style is crazy. Yo, this is so stylized. Oh damn, she's back to the Orsted, that location where everything happened. Damn, this art style is crazy good. Like it is so, I don't know what to call it. Like so very stylized. Wow, that was a really good ending. Okay, that's it. All right, and there you go. That was episode number 3 of season 3. Now, today's episode, we didn't really have that many things. Just normal everyday life, you could say. Rudy comes back. Obviously, he returns back to the school, and Roxy is going to be like a teacher, which makes sense, obviously. You know, and like everyday life, meeting friends, and kind of reconnecting with them. Rudy getting like a prosthetic hand, and then we have obviously things like in the house, like Roxy, Sylvie, uh, his sisters, Zenith, Aisha, Alilia, all of them just like normal everyday stuff happening. This was just like a, I guess you could say, like a slice of life type of an episode where we just get like a little peek of Rudy's everyday life. Like it starts with obviously waking up and having breakfast, going to school, spending time there, coming back, having dinner, going back to sleep. That whole thing. Now, obviously, I think obviously like the season 2 came out quite a while ago, and this episode kind of helped us kind of, what can I say, like remember like a lot of the different characters that we have met. For example, Zanoba, Cliff, like all of these, like guys, Julie, uh like them and the others, like the other characters that we've had, we know already, but since it's been a while, it kind of helped me just remember again, I guess you could say, like, oh, these were the characters. Yeah, this and this. Yeah, it was a nice little introduction, I guess, to say, to whatever new chapter we're going to see of Rudy's life over here. Now, because we're focusing so much on Eris, the first episode was Eris related, the ending is Eris related. I'm assuming Eris will have like a role to play in this season. Don't know exactly what role, but I'm assuming maybe they'll reunite or something was gonna happen. So yeah, whatever it is, I'm looking forward to it. Because other than that, I don't know, like everything, like as Rudy says, like we went through a lot of different things, but now things are kind of like, you know has become normal. Like this is like the normal life that I wanted. Like, and that is true. Like like things are pretty okay now. They went through a lot of things, lost a lot of people, as we saw, and a lot of different things happened. But currently, like, nothing is really the goal, or nothing is really, like, we don't have like any type of goal now or anything of that sort. It's just normal everyday life, you know so that is why, because of we are seeing a lot of errors in these couple of episodes, I'm assuming we'll probably going to see something related to that, like Ares maybe is going to come back, or maybe something's going to happen. Whatever it is, that will become like some sort of a new direction that this story goes towards. Because currently, this is just normal everyday life. Because technically, Rudy is content here. Obviously, Rudy is not a character who would be like, oh, I want to go back to my real world. He's not that type of person. He's married over here, he has a kid over here. In no way, even if he gets an opportunity, is he ever going to go back to the original world, right? So unlike what's her name, Nanahoshi, right? Yeah, unlike her, who's trying to go back, Rudy is like, nah, like like this is it. Like he's not gonna go back. So for Rudy, at least, this is just, like he's content, you could say. He himself literally said that I'm content now. Like like I lost a lot of people, I lost a lot of things. Good things happened, bad things happened, but that's just life. You cannot just get good things, like all good things. There'll be a mixture of stuff. Losing Paul, Zenith becoming like this, all of these different things. But the bad side, the good side is him being able to find his self-worth, I guess you could say. Marrying Sylphie, and then saving Roxy and marrying her as well. So it's like a good and bad mixture thing. And that's just normal life. He's going to just live his normal life here, like raise his children, go to school, do like normal stuff. And yeah, that's how he's going to live his life. So then, like, where is the story even going to go then? So yeah, obviously it is going to be something related to Ares, I'm assuming. We'll see. Either way, yeah, today's episode was basically that. It was just slice of life. Um, let me see. Let me talk about a few things here. First and foremost, like the whole Roxy and Rudy scene at the beginning. Then kind of meeting. What was her name? Lucy, right? That's his daughter's name. Lucy. Yeah. So Lucy, Lucy, Rudy, Rudy. Okay, right. Yeah. Okay. So she has like Rudy's like hair and face, I guess you could say, but Sylphie's eyes. No, Sylphie's eyes, Rudy's hair. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and that was that, and then we get to know that Norn is writing Rejet's book, that book, and Zenith is kind of responding a little bit, you could say, but still has this blank look in her face. She's not really responding to Rudy. She's just responding to Norn, I guess you could say. Kind of like, by just petting her head and like cupping her like cheeks, and yeah, like small little interactions like that. I guess it makes sense because obviously Norn is the one who's kind of taking care of her, so she's the one who's spending the most time with her. And since Zenith's memory is like gone and everything, like she's kind of connecting with the person that she's spending more time with. But at least she's kind of responding, I guess you could say. Like yeah, okay. She's improving. So hopefully, one day in the future, even if she doesn't get her memory back, she can kind of like respond and talk and kind of interact with others. So something like that. Anyways, then they have their breakfast. They go to school, and we get to see how Rudy already kind of introduced everyone to Roxy, and Roxy is going to be like a teacher here, which obviously makes sense. Uh, then we meet a few other old faces. These two, well, I forgot their names. The two cat girls. What were their names? I forgot their names. Anyways, whatever their names were, they come in, and then we get to meet Zenova. We not meet, but we reunite with Zenova. Um, Julie's there. Cliff is there. Now how she comes in, and here Rudy was kind of thinking how to break this break this uh thing, like this whole like, oh, I got married to another person, how to break this information to Cliff, because Cliff obviously is of a religion, the Millis sect, right, where it's monogamy. However, Rudy and like everyone else like is in the other one. I forgot the name, um, which is more polygamy, I guess you could say, something like that, as far as I can remember. So he was like, "Oh, what should I do? Like, how can I break this news to Cliff?" And bam, Roxy literally comes in. Like this part did surprise me. I was not expecting Roxy to become like their teacher. I guess it makes sense, yeah. But then Rudy's like, "Oh my god, like I wanted to break this news to Cliff myself, but then Roxy comes in and Roxy's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm I'm Rudy's second wife." And Cliff's like, interesting." Like, so this is what was going on. Alright, so and then obviously Cliff and Rudy had like a little bit of a conversation, and Cliff said like, "I met your sister obviously were so concerned about a lot of things, they were waiting." And then like she also said how she um admires the way Rudy and Sylphie have such a good like connection and such a good marriage. And she herself said that, "Oh, in the future I want to like mm, I also want like a relationship like that with someone, in my future." And now you end up bringing another woman to to your family. Like, what's going on? Like, like how did Non react? And we remember this. This is what like the whole thing in season 2, where I don't exactly remember the details, but I do remember Non like reacted very very like explosively to this whole, and like I said, rightfully so, in a way. Like, obviously, you have to look at it from her perspective and her point of view as well, just like how you have to look at it from Rudy's point of view. you know like you cannot just look at one side of the story and be like, oh, the other side is wrong. So looking at it from both perspective, each were had their own, I guess you could say, thoughts about the whole thing. For example, how Norn, as we saw, reacted like that. Norn was like pissed off at the fact that how, like, they were, like praying every day for their return. Sylvie was pregnant, and like Rudy had to go to save their mother, and Sylvie was pregnant. He couldn't be here, and Sylvie has been praying every day for his return. And it's all well and good that he returned safely, but then you bring another wife with you, like, and so what would Sylvie feel? Obviously Non herself was feeling very, like, like conflicted about the whole situation. So can you imagine how your wife, who has a child coming, is going to react to that? You know, so all these things, that was from Non's perspective. Obviously, that's how he reacted. But we also know Rudy's whole thing as well. And this is another thing which I remember people told me in the previous season. Apparently, the anime had a very like streamlined way of showing what happened with Rudy and Roxy. Like, as far as I can remember, the anime showed it in such a way where it was like very insensitive of Rudy, you know, to do that. But when I like, apparently in the light novel, it was way more different as far as I've heard. Apparently Rudy was almost killing himself, you know, which, like, to stop that, like, and I think Roxy had to do that or something. I remember like a lot of light novel readers told me that, like, the way the anime portrayed it was extremely streamlined and extremely, like, like a lot of like things were just taken out of it. That's why it portrayed the whole situation in such an insensitive way. It's as if it seemed like that, Rudy was like, oh yeah, sure, why not, that kind of thing. um but it wasn't that simple apparently in the light novel. So either way, like, after getting to know that, I was like, okay, so yeah, I guess, so from Rudy's perspective, if you think about it, that was what it was. Like, like Roxy did that so that literally Rudy didn't kill himself. Like, because apparently it went to such a, like, it went in such a direction that apparently Rudy was like going to kill himself or something because of the whole situation with Paul. And and he was like in his room for a long amount of, something happened, like something like that. Like, apparently the light novel like explains it way more, like, better, and unlike the anime. Either way, so each had their own, like, thought about this and everything. And that is why Cliff is also like, I talked to your sister, and your sister like admired your and Sylvie's relationship, and now this is what you have done. Like, how did she react to this, blah blah blah, all that stuff. In the end, Cliff was like, you know what, at least you came back alive. At least, obviously you lost people, but majoritarily you guys are okay. So, all's well that ends well, kind of. Right. Okay, anyways, and then we had the whole prosthetic arm thing, where Rudy can kind of put in a little bit of mana to kind of make use of that arm. Now, I was kind of thinking, like, if you have to use your magic to continuously, like, move your arm, doesn't that mean you have to continuously just channel magic into it? I guess, it's probably not that much of a big deal for Rudy, because, like, it's probably a very small amount of mana that he'll have to channel. So it's like a very, like, non-existent problem for him. Um, you know, to keep that hand moving continuously. Right, and then they kind of tested it out, used the same hand to shoot some magic, and it worked out. And then after that, Rudy comes back. Aisha welcomes him home. Everyone's pretty impressed with the prosthetic hand, and then dinner is served. Rudy, like thanks, like yeah, like Rudy, like thanks everyone for all that stuff. Right, and then in the end, Rudy goes to his altar. Yeah, and starts praying to the what did he call it? The holy relic or the sacred relic or something? Yeah, and that's how the episode ended. So yeah, like I said, nothing much to discuss about. Pretty plain and simple, everyday life of Rudy. They kind of showed. Now let's see where the direction, like the direction this story goes, and how this proceeds, and what happens. So yeah, that is it. That was my reaction to episode number 3 of Mushoku Tensei season 3. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.